OC News. Could credit cards soon be a thing of the past? We take a closer look into the new service that allows you to pay for things directly from your phone.
The family of a Vallejo woman who was allegedly kidnapped for a ransom earlier this week has been found safe at a relative's home in Orange County. We have the latest developments.
With the kickoff to spring break just days away, Dylan Lujano takes to the street to find out how Titans will be having fun in the sun.
Did your March Madness bracket go sour before the Sweet 16? We'll talk brackets and much more today on OC News.
Welcome to OC News. I'm Lala Sum.
And I'm Jasmine Camford. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Forget about lugging around those bulky wallets and heavy handbags. Apple unveils an app that could leave users leaving those things at home. Let's take a look. Get ready to say goodbye to doing all of this and carrying all of these, as swiping is becoming a thing of the past.
We've created an entirely new payment process, and we call it Apple Pay.
So what is Apple Pay? Well, it allows Apple users to now pay using nothing more than their Apple device.
I think it's a good idea to not lose my wallet all the times and just have my phone with me, and it will be a good idea.
It works a little something like this. First, open up the Passbook app to add your card. Enter your information just like your card number, expiration, and security code. You can also directly upload information if you press the camera icon on the corner to upload your card. After you have done so, all you have to do is agree to the terms and conditions by pressing agree, wait until your card is verified, and just like that, you're off and ready to use. After that, all you have to do is hold your device to designated scanners in stores, select your card, and wait until you hear that beep. Apple Pay is going to be available at various vending machines, parking meters, and even laundromats, allowing you to go from carrying all of this to just this. But of course, there are still many questions and concerns.
What if your phone dies? Or what if, you leave it at home and that's all you have with you?
And as for leaving their wallets completely at home, well, many are still saying,
I don't know.
So now it's in your hands, to scan or not to scan. For OC News, I'm Jasmine Camford.
The 7th annual CSUF Women's Conference is coming up soon, and last year we had the privilege of having the actress and model Angie Harmon from the hit show Rizzoli and Isles come speak about the issues of human trafficking. Who will be our special guest this year? Genesis Miranda is live at the TSU with the details.
Alumni and U.S. Representative Ed Royce holds a women's conference every year on our campus. He announced recently that Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, will be giving the keynote address this year. The event will be held Saturday, March 28th in the Titan Student Union. It will start at 9 a.m. and end at around 12:15 p.m., with registration opening up at 8:30 a.m. The conference is meant to give women tools and resources to enrich their lives, covering topics such as personal finance, healthy living, and career advice. Unfortunately, there are no more tickets left for this event, but if anyone you know has an extra ticket, or if you're lucky enough to already have a ticket, this is an event you will not want to miss. For OC News, I'm Genesis Miranda.
Students who enjoy Cal State Fullerton's valet service only have 1 week left to take advantage of it. The valet services are located in lots A, E, and G and will be discontinued after Cal State Fullerton's spring break. Commuters should give themselves an extra 30 minutes before class to ensure a parking spot.
The CSU Board of Trustees are going to court. The Daily Titan reports that the jury trial for a class action lawsuit brought against the board is set to begin next month. The lawsuit states that the university never made it clear there would be a fee increase following the fall 2009 semester, and they failed to indicate that the price for fall 2009 was not the final price. Plaintiffs allege the board was in breach of contract by not informing the students that the price was not the final total for the term. The board denies there was any contract between CSU and students and claimed there were disclaimers put in place in 2009 on student portals.
29-year-old Denise Huskins has been reunited with her family today after her boyfriend reported her missing from his Vallejo home early Monday. Her boyfriend said the intruder broke into his home that morning and abducted her while demanding ransom. Huskin's boyfriend waited 11 hours before calling authorities. Huskins reappeared at her mother's house in Huntington Beach, but no one was home. She then walked to her father's house and discovered both parents were in Vallejo in search of their missing daughter. Huskins called her father from a neighbor's apartment. It's unclear as to how Huskins made it to Huntington Beach, but Vallejo police are taking over the investigation.
A woman was detained this morning in Tustin on suspicion of killing her mother-in-law and transporting her remains after setting fire to their home in Diamond Bar hours earlier, authorities said. The fire began around 1:05 this morning, but the cause is still unclear. There were no other victims, but body parts were later discovered in the vehicle, authorities on scene later said. The victim and suspect have not been identified.
San Jose police are grieving over the loss of a fellow officer who was gunned down Tuesday evening while responding to a call. Michael Johnson, a 14-year-old veteran, was killed by Scott Dunham, 57. Officer Johnson and fellow officers arrived at about 6:50 p.m. Tuesday at an apartment complex in East San Jose in response to a call reporting a man who was drunk, despondent, and possibly armed. When officers approached the apartment complex, Dunham opened fire and struck Johnson, who died at the scene, police said. Officers returned fire, then, after a search of the area, entered the home early Wednesday and found Dunham dead on a balcony. It was unclear whether Dunham shot himself or was killed by police during the gunfire exchange. San Jose authorities are still investigating the incident. Johnson is the first San Jose officer to die in line of duty since 2001.
When we return, we'll have an update on the Sandy Hook shooter Adam Lanza, and we'll see what's new in the case with Amanda Knox. Zayn Malik is going in a different direction, and Angelina Jolie is making headlines again.
Also, will weather be kind to your spring break plans? Find out after the break.
Titan Radio is Cal State Fullerton's own radio station located in the basement of Pollock Library. Students can stop by and pick up an application during our operating hours. Anyone who has a computer and internet can listen to us www.titanradio.org. A lot of people who want to pursue TV and film usually start out in radio, so it's always a great opportunity.
With spring break around the corner, is it going to be hot or cold? Let's take a look at our weather. Oh. I'm sorry about that. Actually, let's go to Christina with our national news.
Thanks, ladies. The home of Sandy Hook shooter Adam Lanza has been demolished following the demolition of Sandy Hook Elementary School, where Lanza gunned down 20 children and 6 adults before turning the gun on himself in 2012. The demolition of Lanza's home came after requests by neighbors to take the house down, stating, quote, "Not only is the property a constant reminder of the evil that resided there, those of us who walk, run, drive, ride, or otherwise must pass it multiple times a day, are having a hard time moving on, end quote. The controversial and highly publicized trial of Seattle native Amanda Knox has made its way back into the news. And here's CNN with the latest.
On Wednesday, the High Court in Rome decided to delay the decision on the fate of Amanda Knox and Raffaele Sollecito until Friday. The panel of judges heard from the prosecutor, they heard from the lawyers for Amanda Knox, and they heard from the lawyer representing the family of Meredith Kircher, who said he's been in courtrooms 8 times since his client's daughter and sister was killed in Perugia in 2007. On Friday, the court will hear from lawyers for Raffaele Sollecito, who are expected to ask that the court consider their client a separate entity from Amanda Knox, that he not be held culpable for the crimes attributed to her. After that, they will deliberate and come down with a decision whether or not to uphold the conviction of one or both of the defendants, or whether to order another appellate trial. This is Barbie Nadeau for CNN in Rome.
Nearly 8 years after the murder of her roommate, Amanda Knox will finally face her fate in Italian court. The U.S. military has charged Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl with desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. CNN has the latest.
Bo Bergdahl has gone from prisoner of war to defendant. The charges against the Army sergeant include desertion and misbehavior before the enemy for leaving his post in Afghanistan in 2009. He was captured by terrorists and held for 5 years, but the circumstances of Bergdahl's departure from his base and how willingly he left have not been clear.
The U.S. Army Forces Command has thoroughly reviewed the Army's investigation surrounding Sergeant Robert Beaudry Bergdahl's 2009 disappearance in Afghanistan and formally charged Sergeant Bergdahl under the Armed Forces Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Some members of Bergdahl's platoon have been highly critical of the Army sergeant, some even blaming him for the deaths of 6 soldiers who they say died while looking for him. Bergdahl was set free last year as part of an agreement by the White House to release 5 Taliban detainees from Guantanamo Bay. Last May, President Obama announced the controversial move with Bergdahl's parents by his side.
While Bo was gone, he was never forgotten.
Since returning to the U.S., Bergdahl has been on active duty at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas, in an administrative role. He will now appear at a preliminary hearing similar to a civilian grand jury inquiry. It will take place at Fort Sam Houston in Texas. Bergdahl could face life in prison. In Washington, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
House Speaker John Boehner has also stated his opinion about the charges. He believes Bergdahl is innocent until proven guilty. He says, quote, "Well, like any American, you're innocent until proven guilty, and these charges are coming. There will be a trial," end quote.
Today, I am announcing that I'm running for President of the United States.
That's right. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas announced that he will be running for President of the United States in 2016. His formal announcement came on Monday at the University of Lynchburg in Lynchburg, Virginia, with his wife and 2 daughters by his side. This is the first formal announcement of the 2016 presidential bid. And that's all this week for National News. Back to you.
Spring has jumped into full gear, and the sun is not being shy about sharing its warmth. Kelsey Lujan has more on the sunny weather. Kelsey?
Thanks, Lala. It has been kind of chilly the past couple days, but it is starting to warm up. So let's take a look at our current weather that we have right now. As you can see, it is in the higher 80s today. It was really warm compared to the past couple days, and we're having a low tonight of 61 degrees. We don't have a lot of wind out there at 5 miles per hour, and the humidity is at 26%. Today, the sun rose at 6:47 a.m., and it will set at 7:07 p.m., so grab your loved one and go sit out and watch the sunset tonight. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. As you can see, it's going to warm up throughout the whole week and into the weekend. So we're very lucky to have this great weather going into spring break. It's going to be in the low 90s and the upper 80s to mid-lower 80s. And then the nights are going to be very warm, and we are lucky for that. So let's take a look at our national weather. As you can see, it's very warm in the southern part of the nation. It's very red over there. And in our northeast corner, it is still cold in New York at 38 degrees. So although we are very fortunate in Southern California and here in the South, it is still cold up there. So if you haven't had the chance to go out to the beach and get your tan on, go ahead and do so this weekend into spring break. It's going to be beautiful weather for our spring. And before we go, I would like to pay respect to Dr. George Fishbeck, who was KABC's weatherman in the 70s and 80s. And he was known for his charismatic smile and signature specs and bow ties, and he died at the age of 92 this morning.
Our weather is warming up just in time for spring break. Our own Dylan Lujano is on Cal State Fullerton's campus to find out where everyone's going.
Spring break is only days away, and with this warm weather, students are ready to close their textbooks. Let's see exactly what destinations are on their lists.
I am beyond excited. I'm definitely ready for spring break and catching up on my rest and fun times.
Well, I'm planning to go up north to explore some of the trails up near Lake Tahoe.
This spring break, I'm going to visit my sister in Virginia, and she's in the Marine Corps, so I haven't seen her in like 6 months, so it's just going to be fun time visiting and seeing what she does.
I'm going to the Forum in Inglewood to go to the Kids' Choice Awards.
How'd you get that?
I was able to actually call Kiss FM on Monday on about 9 o'clock, and was able to talk to Ryan Seacrest, and he hooked it up with some tickets for 4.
I'm going on a cruise.
What cruise is it?
Princess Cruise. I'm going to Mexico with my boyfriend.
For some of us, this will be our last spring break of our college career. And for those of us graduating in May, well, you'll be a part of the class of 3 million. So Titans, make this one count. For OC News, I'm Dylan Lujano.
Sometimes students don't have time to cook healthy meals during their busy school schedules. This spring break, you can spice up your meals with ideas from cooking classes here on campus. Reporter Samantha Perez dropped in to see what's cooking.
Part of ASI's Titan Fitness Challenge, the Titan cooking class focused on healthy cooking and healthy buying. The Gastronome's executive chef, Stein Amland, was on hand to do a live demonstration.
This is going to go in close.
Most important thing that students take away from the class is that anybody can cook healthy. It is possible using just natural ingredients in your cabinet, and Chef Stein makes it look really easy, and it's not difficult. It is possible to cook healthy but still have something delicious as well. You don't have to sacrifice flavor for health.
Representatives from the Student Health and Counseling Center were on hand to discuss planning balanced meals on a budget. The class is open once every semester to students looking to make a healthy lifestyle change.
So the goal that we had set out for today is to really look at how to make a balanced plate, to integrate vegetables, make it exciting and tasty, whole grains, which is represented with the brown rice, and a protein, a lean protein, which today was tofu. And then our dairy creatively was in there with the coconut milk.
The Titan cooking class demonstrates how healthy food can smell and taste delicious. And if you're curious to know who wins the Titan Fitness Challenge, come out to the Student Rec Lawn May 7th at 5 p.m. Reporting from Fullerton, I'm Samantha Perez.
Changes are being made that impacts your favorite NFL team. Maurice Pennington has that and more in sports.
41-year-old Steve Nash officially announced his retirement on Sunday, but yesterday was his official news conference where he spoke about his time with the Lakers and put the entirety of his Hall of Fame career into perspective.
The one thing I want to say today is a huge heartfelt thank you to the Buss family and to the entire Lakers organization. Just an incredible experience for me to be a part of that. History and tradition, obviously we know it didn't go the way we'd planned, but I was treated incredibly my time here, and unparalleled level of support and people in this building rooting for me, and I'll forever be grateful for that. And in many ways, it's made it a great experience regardless of the disappointments. So a big thank you to everyone for an incredible amount of support and a great experience, regardless of not realizing our goals. My time playing this game has been incredible. I played on some great teams, had a lot of success, and just wasn't able to get over the hump a few times. I simply want people to remember me as a competitor and a great teammate. That's it. Those are the two most important things: to compete every day, to show up for your team and your teammates, be accountable, and show up in big games and show up in big moments, and to be a great teammate. That's all I could ever ask for.
Nash retires having won 2 MVP awards and finishing as the most accurate free throw shooter in league history. He has also tallied the 3rd most assists all time. In honor of the great Steve Nash, here's the top 5 assists of his career as chosen by NBA.com.
Say that sarcastically. That still sounded funny. Oh, nice. Got him. Oh. Again, there's that lefty pass you talked about. He puts it on the money.
Love this shift. He is working so hard and nothing's going for him. He's 0 for 4. Nash trying to track it down. Oh, did you see that? He got it over to Jason Richardson with a soccer move.
Highlight. This is a game of highlights.
Oh, it's 10 assists. We've had some highlights tonight, haven't we?
Leandro Barbosa wins it back. Oh, Nash to Tim Thomas. Wow.
Gorgeous move from Steve Nash.
Fiddly now on Nash. Nash takes him off the dribble. Wrap around to Stoudemire. And the third. What a pass from Steve Nash. Steve Nash can turn nothing into something.
110 to 102. Nash goes down. Wheels in the corner. What a pass. Hill with a three. You talk about a great assist.
Well, that was an amazing assist over his right shoulder. And then Grant hits his second three in a row.
I really love those no-look passes. I really wish Steve could have done a little bit more here with the Lakers, but that's the way it goes. The Steve Nash retirement definitely garnered a lot of attention in Los Angeles, but the Lakers still had a basketball game to play on the road against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook has been working hard to get his team the 8th seed in the West, and last night was no different. Early in the first, he finds a wide-open Dion Waiters, and he's not going to miss that. Puts his team up 6-5. Then Westbrook cuts around the screen, finds the lane, and lays it up and in, proving why he's the most explosive player in all of NBA. It's Westbrook again, but this time he finds Enes Kanter, who throws it down. He finished with 25 points, 16 rebounds. Second quarter, DJ Augustin pokes the ball away from Sacre and alley-oop! Russell Westbrook throws it down. KD looks really pleased. Jordan Clarkson splits the defense and throws it down with some thunder in Oklahoma City. Then it's Russell Westbrook again, finding Enes Kanter one more time, getting one of his 11 assists on the game. Russell then decides, I'm going to take three here. Adds 100 points for the team in the third quarter. They go on to beat the Lakers 127-117. Now, many of your brackets have gone sour, but the Sweet 16 is all set. The first 4 games will be played tomorrow evening, while the last 4 will be played Friday night. So, how is my bracket doing? Well, like most, losses by number 1 Villanova and number 2 Virginia has my East bracket really hurting. But I fared pretty well in the Midwest, correctly picking 3 of the 4 teams who advance. It was the same thing in the West, where Baylor was my only miss. In the South, I picked Duke and Gonzaga correctly and have both advancing to the Elite 8. From there, my final 4 picks were Kentucky, Arizona, Gonzaga, and the already out Virginia. As mentioned last week, I have Arizona taking it all, beating Gonzaga 73-67. The tournament has been pretty unpredictable thus far. We'll have to wait and see how things shake out. Now, you can catch all 8 games on CBS or TBS, and of course, the March Madness Live app and website. The NCAA tournament viewers don't have to worry about games being blacked out, but the NFL's blackout policy has ailed fans since it was instituted in the early 1970s. Let the healing begin, as the NFL has suspended the local blackout policy for the 2015 season. This means that NFL teams no longer have to sell out their home games for the game to be televised within their local market. From 2010 to 2013, 10 home games weren't televised locally in San Diego due to low attendance. The NFL owners wrapped up their annual meetings this week in Phoenix, Arizona. And after Chris Borland's early retirement, fearing the risk of head injury, it was assumed concussions would likely be at the top of the NFL owners' safeties discussion list. Tuesday, they voted to allow a certified athletic trainer at each stadium to call a medical timeout if a player appears to be disoriented. Under the new rule, a spotter at the game would communicate with the side judge if it's determined a player is showing obvious signs of disorientation or is unstable. Neither team would be charged for a timeout, and teams can only replace the affected player during the stoppage. The opposition would also be able to substitute a player to match up. Last night, Cal State Fullerton baseball fell below 500 to 11-12. They'll look to get back to 500 tonight when they host the Nebraska Cornhuskers before starting Big West League play at Cal State Northridge over the weekend. Since we won't be here next week, and neither will you, let us remind you to catch the Freeway Series between the Angels and Dodgers, April 2nd and 3rd at Angel Stadium and April 4th at Chavez Ravine. When we return, baseball season will be in full swing. Now, Jasmine, I noticed you're wearing some Dodger blue. Does that mean you're partial to the Dodgers this year?
You know what? I have to say I'm not a huge baseball follower, but it looks like I do have those team colors on. Lala, what do you think?
And we're both LA girls, so we'll have to go with the Dodgers.
I gotta go with the Dodgers. Christina, what about you?
Well, I live in the OC, Jasmine, but I am true to the blue and white. I'm Christina Hilliard, and after the break, I'll be cluing you in on which boy band member is changing the direction of his life, who's having babies, and what new stars are being revealed. And later, Dylan Lujano has who's hot and who's definitely not in fashion. All up next, stay tuned.
It's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
The streets are buzzing with all that's happening in Hollywood as of late. Christina Hilliard has all the details for you right now.
Kim K thought she broke the internet a little while back, but the way fans took to social media today when One Direction released a statement over Facebook announcing that Zayn Malik will no longer be a member may very well top her racy photos. One Direction fanatics, unfortunately, you heard me right. The group announced that Malik has decided to go in a different direction, saying in his Facebook post, end quote, "My life with One Direction has been more than I could have ever imagined. But after 5 years, I feel like it's now the right time for me to leave the band. I'd like to apologize to fans if I've let anyone down, but I have to do what feels right in my heart. I am leaving because I want to be a normal 22-year-old who is able to relax and have some private time out of the spotlight. I know I have 4 friends for life in Louis, Liam, Harry, and Niall. I know they will continue to be the best band in the world, end quote. Almost immediately following the post, fans posted photos and videos over every social media site imaginable, crying and expressing their sadness, and started trending the hashtag, always in our hearts, Zayn Malik. This is an unfortunate loss for the group, but don't fret just yet because One Direction will carry on as a fabulous foursome. And after having a preventative double mastectomy to cut her risk of cancer 2 years ago, actress Angelina Jolie has made the decision to go under the knife again and have her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed. If you remember, Jolie's mother died from breast cancer back in 2007, and Jolie learned that she carries a mutation of the BRCA1 gene, or better known as BRCA1 gene, which increases her risk of developing cancer. The Hollywood star reported that Jolie has been planning this surgery for some time now, but worrisome blood tests that highlighted potential signs of cancer accelerated the process when her doctor told her he wanted her to see a surgeon immediately for her ovaries. The tests for tumors did come back negative, but it was a measure Jolie felt she had to take nonetheless, stating, end quote, there was still a chance of early stage cancer, but that was minor compared with a full-blown tumor. To my relief, I still had the option of removing my ovaries and fallopian tubes, and I chose to do it. It is not possible to remove all risks, and the fact is I remain prone to cancer. She said, I will look for natural ways to strengthen my immune system. I feel feminine and grounded in the choices I am making for myself and my family. I know my children will never have to say, my mom died of ovarian cancer, end quote. She wrote two years ago that her preventative double mastectomy had cut her risk of developing breast cancer from 87% to 5%. So what do you guys think? Fans and survivors alike have praised Jolie for her decisions, but let us know what you think. Share your thoughts with us on Twitter at OC News CSUF. And some lighter notes in the world of glitz and glam. After being an anchorman, an elf, a stepbrother, and much more, Will Ferrell has received his shining star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Family and friends, including John C. Reilly, Molly Shannon, and Kevin Hart were at the star site yesterday for the unveil and to celebrate for Ferrell. And of course, this milestone wouldn't be complete without Farrell and friends bringing the laughs to the event. Look forward to more comedy from Farrell in his movie Get Hard, starring himself and Kevin Hart, which opens Friday. And to end what's new in entertainment on a sweet, sweet note, Fast and Furious star Vin Diesel and longtime girlfriend Paloma Jimenez recently welcomed their new baby into the world, and on Monday, Diesel announced on the Today Show that Jimenez gave birth to a baby girl, and her name, Pauline, as a tribute to his late friend and Fast and Furious co-star Paul Walker. Diesel explained, and quote, "It felt like, a way to keep his memory a part of my family and a part of my world." That's all I have for you this week in entertainment. Have a fun, safe, and entertaining spring break. I'm Christina Hilliard. Back to you.
Dylan Lujano has the details on what to expect this spring with new fashion trends straight off the runway.
It's definitely feeling a lot like spring, and with this warm weather comes brand new spring fashion. I'm going to share some of the hottest trends that literally anyone can add to their wardrobe. So the first one is all about the 70s. A major trend off the runway is a throwback to the days of Charlie's Angels. It's all about subtle touches and retro strapes, lots of denim, and flared pant silhouettes. For the girl on the go, this next trend is all about being athletic and minimal. The sportswear look was made popular by designer Alexander Wang and continues to stay fresh and modern. What's also great about this look is that it can be worn in any season, especially spring and summer. And a more feminine trend for those that like to show a little bit of skin. This trend is about showing off those shoulders. Lots of form-fitting, vibrant dresses. The look is sexy and sophisticated, showing just the right amount of skin. That was just a taste of what to wear this spring. For more fashion, check out popsugar.com for the top 10 spring runway trends. That's all I have in the world of fashion. Stay chic this spring break. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. And that's it for this week of OC News. Tune in again next time. I'm Jasmine Kianfred.
And I'm Lala Soom. Enjoy your spring break.